Hey guys, Wendy here. You've reached my channel, Book It with Wendy. My channel talks all things books, and welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you're already a subscriber. Happy to have you. So today I am going to do a little book review and fill you in on some of my thoughts on this book that I just read. The name of the book is I cannot say enough about this book. I devoured this book. I read it in one weekend, pretty much finished it almost in one day. I absolutely loved this book. It's my second Riley Sager book. The first one that I read was Home Before Dark. And if you guys have been with me a while, you know that I did a full review on that. Loved it. There is something about his writing that just from the moment you pick it up, I couldn't put the book down. It had so many like twists and turns, and usually I am pretty good. Sorry guys, you know my hair looks like who did it and ran. I apologize. I just put it up because I was cooking. So anyway, it has so many twists and turns in it, and I usually, in most thriller books, I pretty much can figure out what the plot is, but I could not figure this one out. I thought I had it figured out a few times during the book, but I didn't. I didn't see any of it coming. I know I should have probably, but he's just a really good thriller writer. Loved it. So in case you guys don't, I don't want to, this is a spoiler-free review. So I'll try to be as spoiler-free as I can. But it does take place, it takes place on the Maine coast in this big house that's on a cliff. And the house is really old. And anytime there's like a storm or anything, it almost feels like the house is going to fall down, because a lot of it is in disrepair and it is on a cliff, so the ocean's beneath it, and throughout the book a few times you think that the house is going to just collapse off the cliff and fall right into the ocean. It's that type of house. So it takes place around 1983. There is a home health aide named Kit McDear, and she arrives at this decaying house. It's at Hope's End, to care for Lenora. She is a patient there. She's a recluse that had a stroke, among other things, so she can't talk. She can only use one of her hands. She can't walk, and she's in her 70s. She's pretty much confined to a wheelchair. And so Kit comes, and Kit doesn't come from a good home. She doesn't have a good relationship with her father. Her mother passed away, so she works for this home health agency, and she comes in and she cares for this woman, Lenora, and she only can communicate with her by having her use her good hand and tap out, keys on the typewriter when she asks her a question, or they have a system where she'll tell her like 2 taps on something for no and 1 for yes. So they have that worked out. And there is like a big family massacre that is well known throughout the town for years, that happened in the house. So her mother was killed, her father was killed, her sister was killed. And supposedly they blamed her for it, or at least that's what they think. And that's all I really could say. Like, you have to read the book. It's one of those books where it's like Lizzie Borden chant, like since the massacre happened, they say that chant. At 17, Lenora Hope hung her sister with a rope, and then stabbed her father with a knife. Took her mother's happy life. Like that's been going on since the massacre happened. So Kit is a little apprehensive naturally about even meeting her, because she she has heard the story for years and she doesn't know what to think. And there is a caretaker called Mrs. Baker that's in the house, and she's kind of very prim and proper and not very nice. She's kind of very standoffish, and she, doesn't say too much to Kit. And more in the book, as the book goes on, Kit's trying to find out exactly what happened that night and why she did it. So that's all I'm gonna say. It's that type of book, but it keeps you like in suspense like the whole book, and you never see the ending coming, because I certainly couldn't figure it out. Maybe you guys do, but that's my kind of book. I love it so much that I'm on a Riley Sager kick now. I'm on the Riley Sager train. So Sager, the Riley Sager train. I even follow him now on Instagram. So I just ordered another one of his books. I think The House by the Lake, or Across from the Lake. I know Gone Girls is another one that I'm going to order. I want to read all of his backlist, because I haven't read one of his books yet that I didn't read in like a day or two, and I loved it. So that's my kind of book. So I guess, yes, I am a thriller book fan. I love thrillers and mysteries. I am still reading The Vampires of El Norte. I told you I was reading both of these at the same time, but this one had me so captivated that I just put this one aside for a little bit, but I am almost halfway through. This is a really good one too. Almost finished with that, and I did start reading Yellowface by Rebecca Quang. And this one says Athena Liu is a literary darling, and June Hayward is literally nobody. White lies. When Athena dies in a freak accident, June steals her unpublished manuscript and publishes it as her own under the ambiguous name of Juniper Song. Dark humor. But as evidence threatens June's stolen success, she discovers exactly how far she will go to keep what she thinks she deserves. Deadly consequences. What happens next is entirely everyone's fault. So this one's next. I've heard, I think, pretty good things about this, so I'm going to give this a shot. And no, I have not gone back to Under the Whispering Door. So I just, like I said, I put it aside for a while. It just wasn't hitting me. And I just wasn't going to waste time with a book that, not that I think the book is a waste of time, because I know it got a lot of reviews, but you know what? I have to share with you guys, I am finding that, and I knew this about myself anyway, I am not like a TikTok, book talk rather, girl. I mean, I know there's a lot of very like popular books on Book Talk, but I've never been one to follow popular books. If I hear a lot of hype about a book, I will check it out, and that's what I did with Yellowface. I did that with Fourth Wing. That's what I didn't bring up. I did not finish. I DNF'd Fourth Wing. I know it's shocking to everyone, but I realized, and I guess too late, but it's a good thing I got that book for like really cheap, is that I'm not really a fantasy reader. Sci-fi surprised me, because when we did the group read with Project Hail Mary, I loved it. So I think I'm more sci-fi, a little. I do like magical realism, like a little bit of magic in my books, but I don't think I'm much of a fantasy reader. And the book did not, it just couldn't grab me. I think I was 50 pages in, and I'm like, I don't. So, and there was a couple of other booktubers that did a whole video, which I loved, about all the famous Book Talk books, and she didn't like I think she liked 7 out of 40 of them. She just, the hype was not, it was more hyped than she liked. Not to say that's everyone's taste, but I have to say I'm probably right in the middle with that, because like I told you guys in I think last week or the week before, I'm going to start, for every fiction book, I'm going to read a nonfiction book, because that's all I used to read primarily was fiction, nonfiction, and I still love it. So I like to do a balance now. But I still like fiction too, so I'm gonna do a little of both. But I didn't like it. I am finding myself that a lot of the hyped up books on Book Talk is not, I'm not the girl for that. Like I'll really have to look at a book and see what it's about and really, think hard before I read it if it's hyped up. Um, same thing with like Colleen Hoover. A lot of people I know love or hate her. I'm not a big romance person. It's got to have a really good story to read it, like with the stationery shop. I absolutely loved. It's a beautiful love story. That's different. But I'm not really for like the hyped up, quick romance books. It's just not to say that there's anything wrong with that. That's just not the genre that I prefer. So I like to primarily read, like you guys know, memoirs, but I also like to read books that have like staying power, that have been around a long time, or books that are unusual, that aren't around a lot, that people really, like hidden gems I like. So I try to look for that, but I do love Riley Sager, and I know he is like hyped up, but it's well deserved, like it's true. But I find that I'm finding that a lot of these like Book Talk books or the real hyped up books, I end up not liking. So I don't know what it is. It's just my particular taste. I'm in no way saying that anybody who reads them that they're, crappy books or anything. It's just not my taste. So I'm finding more out about myself as a reader, what I really do like as far as trying new things out of my comfort zone and things that I just like I don't like. So it's good in a way because I'm really finding out more and more about what kind of reader I guess that I am, even though I know. I always do try to go a little bit out of my comfort zone as a reader, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but it did work with Project Hail Mary because I loved it. I don't know, I haven't tried another sci-fi book since that, and I probably will at some point, but fantasy books is not, that's not my jam. So I'm probably going to donate that book to the library, The Fourth Wing. And I haven't tried Colleen Hoover. Don't know if I'm going to like her, but I'm going to try one of her books. So that's it. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. And I don't know if you guys can see it. You probably can see a little bit of him because Apollo is right there. Let me try to, there he is. Yeah, he's not going to engage me. So, but he's hanging out with me here because all I have to do is say, let's film, and he heads right in the door. So he just loves to keep me company, and I love having him with me everywhere I go. He's my boy. So that's it for me. I will see you guys back. I told you I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be doing the bookish news. I wanted to try something different. I just didn't like how it was hitting. Maybe I didn't think it through enough. I don't know. I know what I kind of want, so I gotta think a little bit more on that. What I want to do that day, or maybe I'll do something completely different. I don't know. Just like I'm a mood reader, it changes with my channel. Things like other things that I don't know, if I was not in the right mood. I don't know what it is. This is a crazy year. I told you guys, emotions are, up and down this year due to, how this year started with my mom. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I will let you guys know. So I'll probably see you guys Friday, definitely, if not before. And that's it for me. I'll see you guys later. And once again, don't forget, well, I didn't even say it. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe below. I appreciate it each and every time. And as always, thank you guys for letting me share my love of books with you. I appreciate it. Bye.